Hello, friends. It's our Monday meditation day, and I wanted to, and I need to do a meditation today on grief. I've experienced a fair amount of grief myself lately with the death of a dear friend of mine, kind of some transitions in some relationships that I have, the flooding of my beloved home, and that's just on my own personal level. And then there's also all the stuff that's happening, in our country, countries, in our world, and it just feels like there's a a deep unraveling of life as we've known it, and with that unraveling comes grief, for sure. Grief. I mean, yesterday I cried, and I guess I've cried a few times over the last few weeks. And I don't know if you're there with me. If you want to go into a little meditative time for grief, welcome. So as always, get yourself comfortable. Take a minute to sit down in a place where your back can be straight so that you have good energy moving up and down your spinal channel, and just, kind of do a little shake out. Make sure there's nothing that's too tight. Shake out your hands and your feet. Roll your head a little bit, yeah. And and when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. Just take a few deep breaths. Let's get centered where we are here right now. As you breathe in, go ahead and say, I am here. Just say that over and over again to yourself with each breath. We'll do 5 or 6 breaths. Go ahead. I am here. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, allowing your belly to fill, and feeling your belly sink back in as you exhale. Now, we take a moment to just really become aware of that grief. And knowing as we go into that grief and allow it to sit with us, knowing that we are held in great love by the universe, and we are always connected to Source. These meditations connect us very intimately to Source. So breathe in that connection and that safety. Let your root chakra grow roots right down into our mother planet, and recognize that you are safe, you are protected, you are secure. And as your head connects to the cosmos through your crown chakra, know that you are loved and that light is shining down upon us even when we don't feel it. And as we're held in the love of the earth and the love of the cosmos and the light of the universe that is always available to us, we allow ourselves to feel that grief. The grief for the mother, Renee Good, who was shot down. the grief for her children who have lost their mother, the grief for humanity that has come to this point where we can kill another being and say that it's okay. Just let that grief settle with you. The grief for our own personal losses. The grief for the world that is disappearing before our eyes. The world that we've known it as a loving and gentle place seems to have become pretty harsh. And grief for the damage that has been done to so many people in the seeking of power. The grief that power and greed and shame and guilt have brought into our world. And as we feel that grief, just let yourself cry, let yourself sink into it. There's a lot of people dying right now, people that we revered, famous people that we've loved on a personal level. And as you let that grief sit with you for a moment, begin to imagine that grief gives us a new lens with which to see our world. A new lens that helps us see the beauty of this world more intently and more intentionally, with deep presence. We can transmute this grief into an eye of beauty, because the birds are still chirping, the trees are still waving their branches in the wind. The wind is still lifting our hair when we walk outside and making the air fresh. The sun is still shining. The new plants are still getting ready to pop up this spring. The animals are still scurrying around, gathering food, living their lives. And our days are still coming and going, as they always have. And as with all things, this too shall pass. When we allow grief to sit and have its day, we understand the beauty that it brings into our awareness, the preciousness of life, the preciousness of this beautiful planet, this Mother Earth that takes such great care of us. The preciousness of this opportunity, this moment, this day, this year, this life, to be a human being on this planet, to be a soul who's chosen to live in a human body for this lifetime in each of us. How precious this is. And when we can see with the eyes of beauty the great scale of things, we know that this too shall pass, that a brighter day will come. And if we hold on to each other, and we hold on to love, and we continue to see with eyes of beauty, we will reach a better shore. There are times in our life when we all have to go through a river, what I call a river of hurt. And the best way to get through a river of hurt is to keep your eye on the promised shore at the other side. And we are collectively going through a river of hurt right now. But it is bringing us to a new and brighter place. It is bringing us to a new promised shore. We just have to keep our eye and keep moving toward that promised shore. I'll take a minute to give your thanks to the universal energy, whatever name you give it, source, God, goddess, light, the universe. That energy is always available to us. I can feel source enter my body as I meditate. And it's always available to us. We just have to keep our eye upon it and keep our presence aware of the light of the universe. So take a few more deep breaths. And when you're ready, let's put your hands together for a namaste. The namaste means the divine in me sees the divine in you. And that's the truth, because we all have a divine light that shines inside of us. And we are creatures of the stars. We are made of stardust, just like the stars. So we have so much more power and so much more love and so much more light than we're really aware of generally. And the best way to connect with that source of love, light, and energy is through meditation. And you can make your day a meditation. You can meditate as you're hugging a tree or as you're walking in a forest. Going out in nature is fantastic for that. But even if you're just walking through a parking lot, learn to transform your grief and make it into the eyes of beauty. So grief becomes a lens through which we are able to see the beauty of our world. And I hope that that helps you, helps all of us throughout the coming period, which, as I said, is kind of a river of hurt right now. But we're in this together. We'll make it through it together, and we'll make it to the promised shore. So, all my love.